Sports Center.
3, 2.
Hey guys, welcome back to Loft Sports. I'm Tyler.
I'm Seth.
Today we're here with a couple of guests. We got Philadelphia Eagles fan Nick and sad Ohio State fan Alex, who's been with us before. We're going to be talking a little bit about the college football playoff, recapping the big games from Saturday, and giving a little bit of a prediction for the national championship game coming up in a couple of weeks. So Alex, as an Ohio State fan, what's your gut feeling after this game?
Mainly the defense. I wasn't very impressed with them, but ever since the Michigan game, they haven't came out like they can. I think they peaked too early in the season, honestly. I might be too tough on their defense just because that's the only team I really pay attention to, hardcore, but I watch all the games. But getting into the red zone and being held to a field goal, that's pretty ridiculous. I could bring up the incomplete pass, fumble.
Phantom fumble.
It didn't come down to that, to be honest. And then
At least you had the lead after that at one point.
yeah, but
Just saying.
yeah, but still, I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they're gonna complain about that, but there was other things. There were stupid mental mistakes. Roughing the punter, seriously, why? At that point, so a lot of mental mistakes. I thought, of course, after the game, all I heard was Trevor Lawrence, oh, we played sloppy, and I ran in and I looked and I'm like, I thought that was Ohio State talking, but I thought they played sloppier than they have all season. So just mental mistakes killed them. It was a good game. It was very entertaining, but still a lot of mistakes that can't happen at the big show. So,
Nick, you're more of an NFL guy, but I know you watched this game and you played college football at a pretty high level. What did you see?
Well, I thought it was a good game to start off.
Yeah.
Ohio State jumps out to a 16-0 run and then give it up at the end. The defense was a little lacking. You give 107 yards to a quarterback. But J.K. Dobbins, on the other hand, has 174 with, that 68-yard run where he makes one cut and he's out of the gates down the middle of the field.
Yeah. With, one ankle the whole second half.
Right.
Exactly. I feel like there was toughness on both sides. It was a great game. Trevor Lawrence was 18 for 30-something passes, but he only had 260 yards, but he also had 107 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Can't be doing that.
Did not think he was as fast as he apparently is.
Sneaky athletic, as they say in Madden.
When he ran away, I was like, okay, I had no clue.
Yeah.
He's outrunning Ohio State here. It's not like he's outrunning
Jeff Oduka.
I was going to say Nebraska players.
When he gave some good
AJ
fakes,
Martinez running in corn over there.
I'm just saying, yeah.
and they gave some good fakes. I know sometimes our backers crashed on the wrong guy.
They were
going after the
absolutely.
running back. So
so committed to stopping Trevor Lawrence that fake, boom, he's out.
And he took some hits early in this game, but it seems like when the targeting foul occurred, the whole game changed.
See, so what I was kind of seeing is we know the ACC is complete garbage. It's a trash of a Power 5 conference. We all know that. It was almost like Clemson needed to play a half of football against a legit opponent for once to kind of wake up. And I think that targeting hit was that big kind of wake up. Lawrence was down and the whole team rallied. And from then on, it was kind of game over from that point.
he just stayed down so the targeting got reviewed because there was no flag for targeting. So he laid there.
As soon as they scored on that drive, I just felt like, okay, this is going to be Clemson's game.
It also
now,
felt like it took some of the air out of Ohio State's defense. Now we can't touch Trevor Lawrence, and he's a runner.
You are worried about that because once you do hit a quarterback like that once, the refs kind of keep the eye on you a little bit.
Exactly.
He's going to duck his head again into it and get it called again.
He's a runner. So
yeah, but he's going to duck his head so it gets called.
Yeah.
Like he did, because I don't agree with that, but it's all right.
I think it was targeting though because he did lead with the crown.
Yeah,
even
but
though he
still,
didn't hit him in the head.
If he would have got that, Trevor Lawrence is what 6'4", 6'5".
It don't matter if the guy's bending over, if he's tucked in the freaking fetal position. If your crown of your helmet goes straight into the quarterback's helmet, especially,
but it never would have. It would have been his chest. You know that. But
he's still leading. He's still leading.
He's still leading with the helmet.
I wish they would change it that the kids don't get kicked out of the game.
I hate that part of it, but yeah, moving on. Let's keep it rolling here.
So I agree with you guys. I think the two big points in the game, Ohio State settling for field goals early. Had they scored some touchdowns there, the game might have been over in the first half.
Yeah.
And then J.K. Dobbins and T. Higgins both left the game, but both returned later in the second half.
Plays,
The stars really came to the forefront in this game. An amazing performance by both quarterbacks.
Worthy of a national championship game in
It
all
really
honesty.
was.
Yeah.
And speaking of LSU, they will be facing the national championship.
Go Tigers.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin here. If you're an Oklahoma fan, I mean,
Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Wow.
this is the third year in a row you've kind of gotten, not ran out of the playoffs, but the last 2 years you've definitely proven that you've got to play some defense if you're Oklahoma.
And I almost
Exactly.
wonder, too, with the way Oklahoma's lost the last couple of games, if they're going to fall into almost like that Notre Dame category now, where it's almost like they're being billed as a team that can't hang with the big boys. And will that hurt them going forward, where if they are a one-loss team, the playoff committee might start to view them a little bit different here going forward, because it's 2 years in a row. It's been kind of subpar.
The thing Oklahoma has going for them is they can still be a conference champion.
That's true.
That's going to help
That's
them
true.
out. But, I mean, there's no question Oklahoma was the fourth deserving team.
Sure.
They were a conference champion. Everybody else had 2 losses. I don't think Oklahoma didn't deserve to be there. But I think if Oklahoma is going to be serious about getting to the national championship and taking the next step, they need to find some sort of defense. They can't just keep trying to outscore people. You can do that against Kansas State and Baylor, but you're not going to do that against the teams that you're going to run into in the playoffs.
They need to have a little bit of change in their philosophy and their
Oh,
approach.
for sure. For sure.
What did you guys see from that game?
Besides Burrow just throwing touchdown after
Yeah.
touchdown
Well, I mean,
after
pretty much-
touchdown.
Everyone called it from the start, and I know I was having some discussions before. I was like, Oklahoma gives up too many points. They're like,
Mhm.
but they put up a lot. I was like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're giving up that many, especially to LSU, I mean, you saw in the Bama game, they went up 31-13 real quick.
And no one does that against Bama.
And Oklahoma, like you guys said, with their defense, it's just they're recruiting too much on the offensive side. And sure, you can put up points, but against a team like LSU, well, you couldn't hang with them. You couldn't score as quick as they could or produce as much. So
And you look at, Oklahoma's old philosophy when they were actually a much better, to me, football team, when they had their run of success. They had Brent Venables as their defensive coordinator, who's been in Clemson the last few years, absolutely changed that program into what was like a Oklahoma with Taj Boyd just putting up 50 but giving up a bunch of points to a national champion contending elite team. They just have to fix it on defense. They can take a couple steps back on offense and be okay if that defense takes the next couple steps. They just need more balance going forward.
it's that whole conference, Big
Yeah.
12 in general.
I was just going to ask
It's-
that.
It's the
Yeah.
style of play.
It's the whole conference. That conference has that mindset. Like, all those games are back and forth. They're scoring 40, 50 points
Yeah.
apiece, and it's like, okay, why are you scoring so much?
Yeah.
You can literally point to a handful of games Oklahoma should have lost in
Absolutely.
addition to the one they did. The Iowa State, the twice against Baylor,
Yeah.
Texas, TCU, they all came down to the end. Quick picks here, national championship game, Clemson or LSU, who you got?
LSU.
Go Tigers.
Okay, which one?
LSU.
Well, you said it with the accents.
We're going to get into it a little bit more, and my mind might change, but right now I'll say LSU.
I'm going to go Clemson, and I'll explain why when we do our breakdown of the national championship. But
Fair enough.
for now, this is Loft Sports, signing off.